These dusty tunnels in Afghanistan hide precious jewels worth millions. Miners carved these caves with dynamite left behind by decades of war. Habibullah is hunting for a green stone called berush, or tourmaline. About $3 trillion worth of precious minerals are buried inside mountains across Afghanistan. Habib says the mines are not owned or regulated by anyone. For decades, insurgent groups and the Taliban mined and smuggled the jewels out of the country and used the profits to buy weapons. Even today, 95% of gems leave the country illegally. So how did rocks become more precious than human life here? And why are people in one of the most resource-rich countries in the world still struggling with poverty? The province of Kunar was one of the deadliest places in Afghanistan. Decades of fighting forced thousands of families to flee their homes. But Habib and his 9 cousins grew up around here and know every inch of these mountains. Habib hikes for 10 hours to reach a campsite nearly 10,000 feet above sea level. They'll live here mining for the next month. Habib first spotted tourmaline in these mountains 25 years ago. Now, with decades of experience, the 55-year-old is the leader of his group. And with that short prayer, the men are ready to crawl down 300 feet. The veins are actually magma that cooled under high pressure, creating emerald and tourmaline. They're already 300 feet deep, and they can't go any farther without air. This narrow tube pumps their oxygen from a ventilator above ground. Inhaling all this dust can scar workers' lungs for life. But nothing stops these men. Today, they're going even deeper into the mine because they've gotten everything they can from these walls. To get farther into the bedrock, they drill holes and fill them with dynamite.
پمپ چې دا خطرې دی دا برمه چې دا خطرې دی جیب چې کنه یو دی دلته کې ولاړ دی مې چې د مليون را خلاص دا به څه سره نیسی چې مرګله د سره نه وژنې دي خو بس بل غریبي څنګه نشته دا کار دی کې لګي.
The bedrock that contains the gems is often brittle and could easily collapse with heavy drilling. In 2019, 30 miners were buried alive at a gold mine in another province.
د مر سره لوبي دي کنه مر سره لوبي دي کنه دا بمونه دي دا دغه دي موږ د سه مجهزه جامه نه لرو ډېر مړ شو.
The dynamite is all set. Now they have less than a minute to get out of this tunnel.
زود بریم ها
په ټوله ورځ کې زمونږ 3 ساعته نه دی 3 ساعته زمونږ خالی د دمای چې هغه انفجار ورکوو په دې سره چې مونږ د سار چې د مانځه نه وروسته کار شروع کړو تر د ماښام د شپې د 10:11 پورې مونږ کار کوو.
They usually go back in to retrieve the gems. But today they left early because they heard the Taliban was on its way. During the 20-year war, the Taliban and other insurgent groups operated most of these mines. Reports suggest they were earning up to $20 million a year smuggling jewels out of the country. And the gems continue to fund the Taliban today, after the group regained control of Afghanistan. Meanwhile, people like Habib struggle to find buyers, since most countries don't openly trade with Afghanistan.
منګ د ماخام ډوډۍ چې وخورو د سار ته زمونږ هیڅ هم نه ان دومره فشار او دغه زمونږ په خپل په دې ځخونو پراته چې یا الله اوس چې وکول د کمادن نه لاس اخلو.
His only option is selling to local jewelers. He divides the money among his workers. Habib makes about $140 a month, nearly double the average salary in this country. But he has to feed his wife and 12 children. And it's hard to sell his gems for more.
اگه مثل کشورهای دیگه وره درست استخراج شوه که درز نداشته باشه اون مقدر قیمتش بالاست.
Noor Ahmad Shirzad has been polishing gems for more than 30 years. He learned the craft from his cousin in Pakistan when his family lived there as refugees during the Afghan Civil War. But he returned in the early 2000s and set up a workshop with his brothers here in Kabul.
به می رقم است. هر دانه که آبدار است، رنگدار است، شفاف است و سایز دانه کلانش هم قیمتی است.
He works mostly with blue lapis lazuli.
باز از 10 کیلو ازی 1 کیلو این نگین پاک شدگی میبره. تو که کمک ور فکرت دیگه شو نباشه فکرت به کارت انگشتت میزنی چشم اوگار میشه متابل چندین بار ما از آینه که استفاده نکنیم.
Noor's younger brother, Amir Ahmad Shirzad, runs the store upstairs. His son helps out before school. They sell everything from dishes to jewelry and sculptures. Amir says he prices items based on the weight of the stones and how long each piece took to make. He even sells the type of stone Habib mines.
این سنگا بیروچ است. $800 هم است.
And he makes these prayer bead necklaces himself. He says business has been tough lately.
قبلا خب خارجی ها بود، مشتری ها پروازا بود، مشتری های ما می آمدن. خارجی ها بود، افغان های خودمون بود، در نمایش های بین المللی اشتراک میکردن.
Back in Kanar, when Habib isn't busy mining, he's working on his new home just minutes away from the mines.
منشنه ده پټول غواړي د پټه کو نور کاګل نه به کو صفا به کو جوړه به کو چنو به تور کو صفا به کو به په تو ژوند او زندګي ته جوړ شي.
دا په څومره وخت باندې تکمیل شو؟
دا اوس تقریبا یو 15 14 ورځې دی ونیولې. دا منګه لا جوړ کړه د لس کو سانو لپاره.
He will no longer have to walk 10 hours to get to work. While he risks his life hunting for gems, it has helped him pay for this new home. And Habib is thankful for that.
ان شاء الله زه الله ته امید لرم چې مړ نه ماغه پر خپل خدمت او ایمانداري کوم.